So here's what actually happened last night, as presented in the Talking Points memo. So, who won? Well, if you are a historian like I am, you evaluate a vice presidential debate by two yardsticks. Number one, which VP candidate helped his ticket the most? Vance, by far. Number two, which VP candidate was most presidential? I would think Senator Vance won that one as well. It's not because I'm rooting, I'll back it up. The problem with Governor Walz was that he came out shaky, and you could see it. All right? He's a human being. Never been on that kind of a stage before. Knows there's a lot on the line. He was shaky. And when presented with him fabricating a story about being in China during Tiananmen Square, the revolution there, he really looked uneasy. Go.
So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy protests went in. And from that, I learned a lot of what needed to be in governance.
And then he said he was a knucklehead and that he fabricated. He didn't say he used the word fabricated a lie, but he said I wasn't in Tiananmen Square. And he had spread that story around, not just one time. So the protests were in 1989. He didn't get to China till after it. Not a big deal because I'd say almost every politician embellishes, distorts, but that whole presentation made people uneasy. He was not confident. He was not strong. He was not credible. Okay, and there were other examples, but that I think is the best. Now, the overall scenario was the same as the Trump-Harris debate, 3 against 1. CBS is a liberal network. There's no question about it. All right, we went over the fact that I couldn't get on CBS Sunday morning because they never book non-liberal authors, ever. Just don't do it. That is such a bad thing, but that's who they are. So Vance knew that, and Vance was prepared, unlike Trump. Trump let himself be put on the defensive. Vance did not. Big difference. So one of the things was abortion, which is an issue helping the Harris-Walz ticket. Vance picked out a very troubling part of the abortion situation in America, and that is, in Minnesota, a law signed by Governor Walz no longer requires doctors to save the life of a baby born after a botched abortion. Vance threw that right over to Walz. Go.
Trying to distort the way a law is written to try and make a point, that's not it at all.
What was I wrong about, Governor? Please tell me, what was I wrong about?
That is not the way the law is written. Look, I've given this advice on a lot of things, that getting involved, getting engaged, that's been misread, and it was fact-checked at the last debate. But the point on this is there's a continuation of these guys to try and tell women or to get involved. I use this line on this, just mind your own business on this.
Not good enough, because Walz signed a law. In 1976, Minnesota passed a law. Okay, the law said, quote, all reasonable measures consistent with good medical practice, including compilation of appropriate medical records, shall be taken to preserve the life and health of the child born after a failed abortion. That's pretty clear. Every step has to be taken. Walz knocked it out and replaced it with, quote, preserve the life and health of the born alive infant, was replaced with care for the infant who is born alive. Care, not preserve. That's a big difference, because a physician said, well, I cared for her, I just didn't, take any steps to make sure it lived. But I cared for it. It wasn't in any pain. That's the argument. Then there was a wording in the law, in the first law in 76 that Walz knocked out, that you were mandated. Doctor was mandated that abortion providers report all live births after a botched abortion. They had to report it to the state. Walz knocked it out. That's as extreme as it gets. You don't get more extreme than that. Okay? So Walz was fumbling around. He's an extremist when it comes to life issues, and I think pretty much every issue. And then Vance did something very smart. He knows that the Republicans are running behind, particularly with women, on the abortion issue. And here's what he said. Go.
As a Republican who proudly wants to protect innocent life in this country, who proudly wants to protect the vulnerable, is that my party, we've got to do so much better of a job at earning the American people's trust back on this issue where they frankly just don't trust us. And I think that's one of the things that Donald Trump and I are endeavoring to do. I want us as a Republican Party to be pro-family in the fullest sense of the word.
Very good. He admits a mistake. See, Trump never admits a mistake. Vance did. He said, the party's not doing a good job here. We got to get back to it. That's comforting to voters who are not in the ideological categories. Hey, Bill O'Reilly here. America is at a breaking point. Record inflation, interest rates, debt. The last thing we need is more reckless government spending and higher taxes, and they could happen. But a Harris presidency could bring us into that zone, plus a hit to your retirement savings. So protect your savings with American Hartford Gold. They'll help you secure your retirement by diversifying with physical gold and silver. Start with a simple phone call. They'll guide you through the process, even deliver gold and silver right to your door, or place it directly in your IRA or 401k. Don't wait. These safe haven assets can protect you in an economic crisis. Call or text American Hartford Gold today. Tell them O'Reilly sent you to get up to $15,000 of free silver on qualifying orders. Call 866-501-5201. That's 866-501-5201. Or text BILL to 65532. Again, 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.